So in this segment, we're going to be talking about a voter feeling disrespected by Tory ministers lying, but also him kind of praying, praying that Starmer's the guy.
Start praying, boy.
And I'm not, this is like a peak kind of just a guy who's just hope, just pure hope. That's what he's running on.
When you get these human beings on, these ministers, to state their case, would it be a good idea to have him on as well so that he can argue the point?
Well, what do you want? What do you want the point to be made to them? What is the point
I
you want
want
made?
Is I think this is ridiculous. They think we're stupid. At the end of the day, all they've got to do is tax the super rich a little bit more.
They're not going to. They're not going to.
They say so. The Tories won't because it's not in their nature. That guy was incapable of thinking outside the box, of thinking anything different. It's more of the same.
So he's talking about Minister Anthony Brown's that inflation cannot be blamed on his trust. That's what this whole, like we are missing a little bit of context there. Sorry about that.
He was just oozing it. He was not capable of thinking already, which doesn't work. Now, I am going to say this, and I believe that Labour are lying to us. I hope they're lying to us, because it's our only hope. They've got to get into power because they can't do anything from opposition.
And then this is what I mean, guys. This is like peak gaslighting. Like, the hope that Labour are lying to us now in the hopes that they're going to do the things that we need to be done, in their first term is just amazing. The level of kind of acceptance people have had. Like, we're going to accept these are lies. Like, this is the same mentality people had during Brexit, that we need to accept that, we need to get it done, believe in them, so that when we can't see what the reality is. We can't essentially see this. We can't see the part with the bite. We can't see the actual result of the vote until it has happened. And this is just really ugly, because we saw the reality with Brexit. We knew this stuff was going to happen. And with Labour, like, the idea that they're going to break manifesto, either way, they break trust in politics when you look at it. Because it's either they break manifesto promises of not raising taxes. Well, we haven't seen a manifesto, but they break promises that they've made recently, right, in terms of not raising taxes, etc., and not raising national insurance or whatever. Or they stick to those promises and they break the ones they made during the leadership contest and kind of following Starmer's leadership contest. And the kind of hope that these kind of voters have, like this person here specifically, the caller has, will be shattered, because he was hoping that Labour will do the right things. They will tax the super rich, even though they've ruled it out. They've ruled out increasing taxes on the super rich. They've talked about non-dom status. They've talked about closing tax loopholes and things like that. But that's not really an increase in tax. When you look at it, not a percentage increase in terms of the rate that they are actually going to pay. Labour are just going to aim to make them pay the rate, the amounts they should be paying. Can you see the difference in what I'm talking about here?
And I think that slowly, not overnight, slowly things will start, and they will start to do things differently. But for that minister to come on your show, Tom, and say what he's just said, oh my God.
The economic good times are coming back.
They're monsters. They are cretinous monsters. And the sooner we get them out of our lives, the better.
That I can agree with, but I won't replace one set of clowns for a lesser set of clowns, if you see what I'm saying. And this is, for me, this is the mentality that we should have. I'm really hoping that worked, because it's just a guy, saying essentially you'll work for your meal. Like, this is the mentality I have with Labour. Like, if you want my vote, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to earn it. Like, my vote is there for grabs, just like a lot of the swing voters that they're going for. The vote is up for grabs. But by giving up by vote, by saying I'll vote for you regardless, you give up any leverage you have.
And listen, Simon, how you choose to vote is up to you, sir, and good luck to you. The problem you've got, the problem all of us have got, the problem all the political parties have got. I mean, why would you want to win this general election if you know that at some stage you're going to have to find £19 billion worth of funding from somewhere in order to not do the cuts?
The only thing I can think is, and I hope, is that they genuinely do think they've got a chance. They genuinely do think that they're going to win, because I'm so loving to see all the tears in sports halls on general election night. And then they might actually realise that, hang on a minute, we got this wrong.
And, I'm all for that. I'm all for, seeing these guys gone. I'm all for seeing these guys cry in the sports hall and stuff, but end of the day, that's not going to get results. That's going to feel nice in the moment, but that's not going to get you what you want, which is an end to the 2-child cap. Going back to the old 50p tax rate. Massive investment in clean energy. At least these are the things that I want. The Tories crying in sports halls will not achieve that. It's good to get them gone, but after that, you have kind of a soft reset, and you've got to figure out what's the next lot of people going to do. And at the moment, based on what they're saying, they're not going to get a lot done.
But until then, the only hope we've got is the hope that Labour are playing the Ming Vase game. And
the Ming Vase game. Yeah, this is definitely an O'Brien listener who's basically saying like all we can do is pray Labour will do the right things. And not criticise them now. Say I'm hoping that they're lying to us now in the hopes that when they get in they will do the right things. The Ming Vase game, it's all about getting to power and then doing the right things so they can stay in power. It's just pure hope and just nonsense. Like, you have to put pressure on them. That's the only way it's going to work. You have to put pressure on them to do these policies. Why do you think big business are donating to the Labour Party? Why do you think these rich dudes are donating to the Labour Party? It's because they want to buy influence. They don't want to pay more in tax. They can see the way the wind's blowing. They can see it's heading towards Labour, and they're buying influence right now. There's a reason why these worker bills, that the workers' reforms that Labour keep pushing, keep getting watered down, and that's before we even got into the consultation phase. It went from really, I think, decent workers' rights that Rayner announced initially, like getting rid of 0 hours contracts. Then it went to getting rid of exploitative 0 hours contracts. What's exploitative? We don't know. And then you've got more than that, where they were meant to do it within the first 100 days. Now they're going to have a consultation within the first 100 days. So they've watered it down already. It's going to go through the consultation. They're going to water it down even more, and you're not going to get anywhere near what the stuff that we really need. And then people are going to turn around, probably like this caller will, and say, well, it's better than the Tories. You will get barely anything of what you want, but it'll be fine because it's better than the Tories. That's what they'll run on, honestly.
They're treading so carefully so that they don't upset. They know they've got voters like me votes in the bag.
And that's the problem. You've given up all your leverage. That's the exact issue that you have there, mate.
Right, so they're not going to talk about this because they've got something planned that they're not going to talk about. They'll do it when they're in office and they'll sort it all out. That's the hope.
Right.
And you're right. And it's pathetic because at the moment, nobody is addressing this issue. Nobody is addressing the massive elephant in the room, which is we're going back to austerity, guys. Hello?
Yeah,
that's true. And this is where you get a lot of denial from certain people about the fact that we're not going back to austerity. But Labour have said, Rachel Reeves, to be fair, said we're not going back to austerity. But Labour have consistently talked about tough choices. So it's just a change of language. A rose by any other name is still a rose. Austerity by any other name is still austerity.
Tom, listen, I'm going to make a statement. I've made it on here before 2 or 3 times. I stick by it, but I'm prepared.
This is wild, guys. This is honestly, you're not going to be ready for this take here.
To put my hands up if I've got it wrong, like I did with Brexit. My statement is this: Keir Starmer is going to be the best thing that has ever happened to this country. In order to...
So somehow he's going to be better than Clement Attlee, the guy who founded the NHS. Okay, buddy. Okay.
To find that out, we have to get him into power. But I firmly believe in all my bones and my heart that man is the answer to our problems.
It's pure emotion. It's pure emotion. That's how we've ended up in this country. This guy's based on pure hope, pure emotion that Starmer will do the right things. How this person's gonna put pressure on Starmer to do these things, I don't know. He's just assuming it's gonna happen. And it's just crazy to me. Like, this is the highest levels of things like gaslighting and hope and kind of Tory failure, to the point where this man is hoping that Starmer will do the right things. In his bones, he feels Starmer will do the right thing. Pure emotion. That's what we're seeing here, and it's just ugly. It's so ugly. And the caller knows it. The person taking the call knows it. Tom Swarbrick, or whatever his name is. And I think you guys in the audience can see it. It's just pure hope that Starmer will do the right thing in power. That he will tax the super rich in power, despite him saying otherwise, despite Reeves saying there will be no tax increases under Labour. They talked about, the fact there's no magic money tree, the country's broken, all of this stuff, right? Where they're going to get the money from, etc. Sounds very much like a George Osborne, kind of 2010 tribute act. That's what they're sounding like here. But the hope is they're going to do the right things in power. Part of me feels bad that, this caller is kind of just a victim of the Tory psychodrama, but also the Labour psychodrama as well. But also, like, you've let yourself get into this position of you're saying you're going to give him everything he wants up front and you're hoping on the back end he's going to do the right things. And for me, that's silly. All you have, especially when it comes to elections, is your vote. And you do your best to leverage your vote, because the moment they think they're going to lose you is the moment they're going to have to offer you something. Because at the end of the day, it's not people that fail politicians. It's 9 times out of 10, it's politicians that fail people. And I said that when Corbyn lost, and I'll say that again now. It's politicians that fail people. Yeah, you have to build a broad coalition, but if you don't appeal to your base, you're screwing yourself. That's one of the things you learned in 2019 under Jeremy Corbyn. It's one of the things you learned under Hillary Clinton in 2016. You have to appeal to your base and then get the swing. You don't just go for swing and forget your base, because long term, it doesn't work. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if you're one of the people who think Starmer will do the right thing, or if you don't think or do you think he's a continuation of the way things are. Channel memberships are available, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.